everyone. I am Sakshi Sharma, working as an assistant professor at Noida Institute of Engineering and Technology, Pharmacy Institute. Today, I will going to teach you about the clinical symptoms and the management of mercury and arsenic poisoning. So first of all, what is mercury poisoning? Okay, mercury poisoning, there are three different forms of mercury. With the mercury, it is an elemental, it is a compound which is mainly available in the three different forms. First of all, there is elemental, inorganic, organic, means this is mainly found in the element form, inorganic or organic form, है ना? And each has a different toxicological profile, means elemental, inorganic and organic profile. These forms, these three have different toxicological profiles, so they will produces a different actions. Okay, now the elemental mercury, first of all, sphygmomanometer, thermometers, barometers, liquid at room temperature, volatilize easily. Inorganic mercury, traditional remedies, Ayurvedic, Chinese, used in gold extraction, caustic soda manufacturing, rodenticide. These organic mercuries, they are used as a fungicides, seed dressing, methyl mercury in fish. Now organic mercury poisoning, these are the rare but they have a severe exposure, means they will produces a severe effect in the body. Okay, exposure, they can be exposed through ingestion, tropical or inhalation. They may produces the CNS toxicity, poor concentration, fatigue, ataxia, tremor, constricted visual fields. Okay, coma and convulsions can be occur in that patient. BM suppression, renal toxicity, means they have a kidney effect in the kidney also. They may produces the renal toxicity also. Dealkylation to the organic form, poor responses to the treatment. Now this is the mechanism of action of mercury toxicity. First of all, see, this is the main mechanism of action of mercury toxicity. These absorption, if they are absorbed through the mercury, Hg, which is denoted by the Hg, this is mainly when they are exposed through lungs, when they are exposed through lungs or skin 2 to 3%, lungs 90 to 95%, they will get distributed in the organs like kidney and liver, and they will removal from non-neural, they will remove from the non neural tissue, and they may produce a mercury which may mainly absorb in the lungs and finally get distributed. They will absorb in the lungs part and they will finally get distributed in all over the tissues in the body, and they will alter the copper metabolism following chelation in DMSA, might also contribute towards the redistribution of Sg from soft tissue to the, they will also goes to the brain part also. So this is the main mechanism of action of the mercury. They will mainly act, they will alter the copper metabolism. Okay, and they will redistribute it in the brain part also from these tissue. Now the what are the sources of the mercury, how, from where we get, we will get the mercury. Okay, elemental mercury, sphygmomanometer, thermometer, barometer, liquid at room temperature, volatilize easily. Inorganic mercury, I have already told you in the previous slide that traditional remedies, Ayurvedic, Chinese, they are used in the gold extraction, caustic soda manufacturing, rodenticides also. Organic mercury, they can be used as a fungicide, seed dressing, methyl mercury in the fish. Now first of all, the organic mercury poisoning, these are the rare mercury, but they have a severe condition. They will expose to the ingestion, tropical and inhalation. Some of the CNS, central nervous system toxicity, can be seen through the organic mercury poisoning. There is a poor concentration, the patient will not get concentrated at one place. Okay, there is a poor concentration, there is a fatigueness, means the patient or the individual, they will and the body will get fatigue and tiredness can be seen, ataxia, tremor and constricted the visual field, coma and convulsion, bm suppressions can be seen, renal toxicity in the kidney, they may produce some of the effect like dealkylation to the organic form, poor responses to the treatment. Now inorganic mercury poisoning, there is a gastrointestinal phase. Hg2 plus is a potent GI, this is a potent GI irritant, gingivitis, stomatitis, oesophageal, gastric, small and large bowel erosion, hematomesis, body diarrhea, CVS collapse. Okay, now the second one is the systemic toxicity. Systemic toxicity means in the blood, they will produce the Sg mercury plus inhibit, they will inhibit the sulfur enzymes. Okay, I have already told you in the previous slide that these mercury, they will inhibit some of the enzymes in our body, they will inhibit systematically these mercury, they will inhibit the sulfide enzymes in the body, and they will, if the enzyme it will get inhibited, they will produce the hypotension and lactic acidosis conditions can be seen in that patient. Now the next one is the nephrotoxicity. These mercury, they will deposit in the tubules, these mercury, they will combine and they will deposit in the tubules. Okay, and they will ATN, acute renal failure, kidney failures can be potentially leads to CRF in the survivors. Okay. Now how we can diagnose this mercury poisoning, how we can diagnose the mercury poisoning? First of all, the blood mercury. Okay, as we all know, the main diagnostic criteria for diagnosing any of the poisoning in our body is through the blood. Okay, now the blood mercury only really useful acutely normal, more than 10 microgram per liter. Okay, symptoms with blood mercury, if any of the symptoms with the blood mercury, there is decrease from 150 to 200 microliter. Urine mercury, probably the most reliable indicator, normal more than 10 microgram per liter. Symptoms with urine mercury less than 100 to 150 microgram. Okay, now the third one is the radiology for elemental ingestion, aspiration and the ingestion. Now removal from the source, supportive care, particularly important with inhalation, DMPS chelation, 2,3 dimercapto, 1 propen sulfonate, chelation therapy of choice for mercury for both acute and chronic mercury poisoning, for all forms of mercury, inorganic, metallic and organic. Okay, indication, symptomatic patient, blood urine mercury persistently more than 100 to 150. Now the mercury, what are the mercury poisoning treatment? Okay, types. There, first of all, there is two types of mercury poisonings can be seen in the patient. First one is the acute mercury poisoning. Second one is the chronic mercury poisoning. Acute mercury poisoning, this is more in the cases than we compare to the chronic mercury poisoning. Okay, what are the treatment type for acute mercury poisoning? The supportive treatment or antidote. As we all know, some of the supportive treatments can be seen in the for the managing these poisoning, or the antidotes can be given to the patient for managing the severe toxicity in the patients. Now I have told you about the types, the acute mercury poisoning and the chronic, and if you talk about the prevalence of these acute, there is a more cases of acute mercury poisoning than the chronic mercury poisonings. Okay, the treatment type is the supportive treatment type and the antidotal treatment type. Drugs, and these are some of the drugs which can be used in the mercury poisoning, like chelating agents like dimercaprol or British anti-Lewis ball can be used, succinic acid, DMSA can be used, DMPS used, penicillamine can be used, others categories can be used as a chelating agent for the supportive treatment for the mercury poisoning. Okay, combination therapy can be also used, means with some of the drugs can be used along with these chelating agents as a combination therapy for eliminating the mercury poisoning from the body. Third one is the plasma exchange, hemodialysis and and the plasmapheresis. These can also be used in the management of these mercury poisoning in the body. Forms, I have already told you what are these are the three forms of the mercury which are available. First one is the inorganic mercury, second one is the elemental mercury, third one is the organic mercury. Okay, and they may produce, these three may produces the different effect. They have a different pharmacological effect or the toxicological effect in the body. What is the route of the main route of the administration of the mercury is the injectable, either injectable, it will get administered into a body, and through the oral route. Okay, distribution channel, hospital pharmacies, online pharmacies, retail pharmacy. Region, North America, Europe, some of the regions: North America, Europe, Asia Pacific, Latin America, Middle East and Africa. Now this is all about the mercury poisoning. So I hope you will get know about these mercury poisonings. Okay, now we will come to the arsenic poisoning. Okay, arsenic poisoning, it is also a very important type of poisoning. Arsenic, it is a metallic arsenic. Metallic arsenic, it is a non poisonous but arsenic salt producer. Arsenic, they may produces the some of the toxicity in the patient. And the organic form, inorganic forms consisting mostly of the arsenate and the arsenite and the arsenate compounds and are toxic. These two compound, arsenite and arsenate compound, these are the toxic to the human health. Means these arsenic compound, arsenite and arsenate, these are very much toxic to the human health. Okay, humans are exposed to arsenic primarily from the and the humans, they are exposed through the arsenic, they are exposed to this arsenic either through the air routes, either through food and water. Means these are some of the routes or exposure condition by which these arsenic, the humans, they will get exposed to these arsenic. Okay, drinking water may also be contaminated with arsenic from the from arsenal pesticides. Means through the air these arsenal pesticides, they will go to the drinking water, and if they are consumed by the humans, they may produces the arsenic toxicity in that individuals. Okay, natural mineral deposit or improperly disposed arsenic chemicals. So this is all about the arsenic poisonings. You all have to remember that there is mainly two inorganic form which are mainly consisting. The arsenic is the arsenite and the second one is the arsenate. These two compounds, they are very toxic to the human health. Now the arsenic, they will either oxidative DNA damage. This is the MOA, mechanism of action of arsenic, how they will produce their action, their arsenic actions. Okay, arsenic, they have a oxidative damage, oxidative through oxygen, they have a oxidative DNA damage, and they will either produce the activation of transcription factor. The transcription factors which are present in the DNA, they will activate these transcription factor. Okay, and through the oxidative DNA damage, if they oxidatively they will damage the DNA, they may produce the chromosomal abbreviation. There is a chromosomal abbreviations can be seen in that patient, and they will interfere with some of the cellular signaling, some of the cellular signaling which are happening in our DNA part. They will interfere with this cellular signaling, and they will alter the gene transcription, and they may further produces the carcinogenicity like effect. Means they are carcinogenicity, they are produces the cancerous cells or the tumor producing cells. Tumor producing cells. So these arsenic, this is one of the method by which the arsenic, they will produces their actions like oxidative DNA damage. They will through oxidative DNA damage they will have a chromosome, they will have chromosome abbreviations, and second one is the interfere, they will interfere with the cellular signaling get interfere, and through which they will produces the carcinogenicity effect. Means they have a cancerous cells, they will produce the cancer and tumor producing cells in the humans. in the body, and through the activation of the transcription factor, if these arsenic, they will activate the transcription factor in our body, they will alter the gene expression. The gene expression, it will get altered. Some of the genes which are genes, as you all know, they are inherited from the parents to the offspring. So they by the activation of these transcription factors, some of the transcription factors which are present in our body or the DNA, these arsenic, they will activate these transcription factor and they will alter the gene expression, means the expression of the gene, they will get altered. So after that, some might, it will produce some of the inherited disease to the patients also. Okay. Now arsenic exposure, how the arsenic exposures can be seen. Okay, arsenic exposure do the decrease the intracellular glutathione. These arsenic exposure, they will decrease the intracellular glutathione, and they will increase due to the decrease in the intracellular glutathione, they will increase the oxidation or sulfhydryl group in the hemoglobin. Means I have told you that these arsenic, they have a main and they have a main effect on the enzymes called sulfhydryl. Sulfhydryl mean SH group, they have a main effect on these enzymes, and through the acting on the intracellular glutathione, they will decrease the intracellular glutathione, and due to the decrease in the intracellular glutathione, they will produces the increase in the oxidation of the sulfhydryl groups in the hemoglobin, and due to the increase in the oxidation of sulfhydryl groups in the hemoglobin, they will decrease the oxygen uptake by the cells. Mean the hypoxia conditions can be seen in the patient through the exposure of these arsenic. Okay. Second one is the increase the cytosolic calcium concentration. These arsenic, they will increase the cytosolic calcium concentration. They will increase the formation of ceramide. These drugs, they will increase the formation of, due to the exposure of these arsenic, they will increase the formation of ceramide in the body. They will decrease the ATP availability. ATP, it is a very much important for our body, because from the, you all know that ATP, it is a source of energy for our body, for functioning, for the normal functioning of our body, like muscle contraction or the electrical signal, nerve conductions, any of the system or any of the functioning of our body, these ATP is very much necessary. So the arsenic poisoning, due to the arsenic poisoning, they will decrease the ATP availability for some of the activity in our body. If the ATP production, it will get decreased, so it will decrease some of the normal functioning in our body. Okay. They will decrease the cell membrane integrity. Cell membrane integrity can be decreased. They will increase the membrane disruption, means the membrane disruptions can be increased, and due to the decrease in the intracellular, and due to these effect, they will decrease the lifespan of the erythrocytes. Means as you all know, erythrocytes, RBC, है ना, this have a lifespan of 120 days. Okay, if the lifespan of these 120 days, means the RBC or erythrocytes lifespan, it will get decreased, means the anemia conditions can also be occur, and there is a decrease the lifespan, there is a hemolysis. Okay, erythrophagocytosis anemia condition, because the after all, if the erythrocytes, there is a decrease in the RBC production in that human. Okay, if the RBC cells or the decrease in the production of these red blood cells in the body, it will ultimately produces the anemia condition, means there is a decrease in the blood formation in the individuals. Now the mechanism, what is the main mechanism of the poisonous action of these arsenic? There is a trivalent compound. These arsenic trivalent compound, they will interfere with the cell metabolism. Means these trivalent compound, these arsenic compound, they will interfere with the cell metabolism. They will interfere with the cell metabolism part and oxidation by combining. I have told you that the main action of these arsenic is that they will act on the SH compound, these sulfhydryl enzymes. They will act on these sulfhydryl, they will interfere these sulfhydryl enzymes, and these trivalent compound or the arsenic compound, they will interfere with the cell, with the normal cell metabolism and oxidation by combining with the SH enzymes. like pyruvate dehydrogenase, and these block this due to which by combining with these enzyme they will block the Krebs cycle, they will block the Krebs cycle or the normal Krebs cycle in the body, and they will result in the depletion of the ATP. ATP it will get depleted, so the energy level will get decreased, energy level will get decreased. So, arsenic they will block the Krebs cycle which is also known as the citric acid cycles, okay, and they will result in the depletion of the ATP. Pentavalent compound, they will uncouple the mitochondrial oxidative phosphorylation, means pentavalent compound they will uncouple the mitochondrial oxidative phosphorylation. This is the main mechanism of action, how the arsenic they will produce their actions in the body. Now, the oxidative stress, this is one of the mechanism of arsenic toxicity, in which the oxidative stress, there is one of the condition by which the arsenic they will produce their toxicity. They will bind with the SS enzymes, they will these arsenic compound they will bind with the SS enzyme and biomolecules, they will decrease the ATP generation in the body. And the chromosomal abnormalities, I have told you that these arsenic they will interfere with the transcription gene factor, okay. So, they will produces the chromosomal abnormalities due to disruption of tubulin and the spindle functioning. They will disrupt these tubulin or the spindle fibers, spindle functioning in the body, due to which there is a chromosomal abnormalities can be seen. They will inhibit the antioxidation enzyme activity like superoxide dismutase, catalase, glutathione peroxidase, means they will inhibit these antioxidant enzyme activity. And they will produces the oxidation of polysaturated fatty acid, lipid peroxidations, okay, inactivation of transcription factor involved in carcinogenesis, okay, binding with metallothioneins, cysteine rich proteins, they will bind with these metallothionein compounds, they will inhibit the pyruvate dehydrogenase activity. So, these are the main mechanism of action, mechanism of arsenic toxicity, that how arsenic toxicity will produces the effect in our body, okay. Now, what are the signs and symptoms of the acute arsenic poisoning? The usual manifestation consists of, there is a condition nausea, vomiting, abdominal pain, watery diarrhea. They may be like rich rice water and possibly GI hemorrhagia conditions can be seen in that patient. Subsequent dehydration and hypotension, there is decrease in the BP level can be seen. It may lead to circulatory collapse in that individual, and acute encephalopathy may ensue with headache, confusion, delirium, seizures and coma can be seen in that patient. In less severe cases, if there is a less severe cases of the arsenic toxicity, there is a irritability, personality change and hallucination may occur in that patient. A range of dysrhythmias can be seen, maybe sorry, this may be seen including the they will prolong the QT interval and the torsade D points, okay, and the oral ingestion of the high dose of arsenic, they may produces they may cause an acute lung injury, acute respiratory distress syndromes or pulmonary edema. Now, acute hepatitis, hemolytic anemia, pancytopenia, acute renal failure and rhabdomyolysis can be seen. Fever may be present in acute poisoning. If we talk about the acute poisoning of the arsenic, they may produces a fever. Chills can be seen in the patient. Fatigue, anorexia or weight loss may occur in subsequent poisoning. Skin disease, keratosis of palms or soles and hyperpigmentations can be seen due to acute arsenic poisoning. Fatal doses 180 to 20 mg, this is a fatal dose of arsenic, and this is a trivalent or more toxic, okay. Fatal period in narcotic form, sudden death may occur in the patient in 2 to 3 hours, in GI form 12 to 48 hours. Now, these are the symptoms of arsenic poisoning. There is a skin, if we talk about the first of all skin damage, they may produces the hyperkeratosis, scaling skin, the skin it will get scale, pigmentation, skin pigmentations can be occur, nerve damage in the brain, the nerve, some of the nerve it will get damaged due to the arsenic poisoning, circulatory problems in the skin, there is a circulatory problems in the skin, increase the cancer risk. I have told you in the previous slide that they may produces the they are carcinogenicity, they may produces the cancers like effect in cancers like risk in the body, in the some of the in the cancer like lung cancer, bladder cancer, kidney and liver cancerous cells. Now the treatment, how we can treat the arsenic poisoning, use of emetic and the gastric lavage conditions with ferricel oxide, removal of the patient, removal the patient from the source of arsenic. If there is skin contamination, wash with the copious water, we have to wash the skin with the copious water, seal the contaminated clothing. Gastric lavage conditions can be used, whole bowel irrigation and polyethylene glycols can be used to prevent the arsenic absorption. For decreasing the absorption in the whole body, we can use these polyethylene glycols. Surgical and endoscopic removals of arsenic has, these are very much useful in for treatment of the arsenic poisoning. Supportive treatment like oxygen bronchodilators can be given to the patients, or for pulmonary edema conditions. Now intravenous fluid for hypovolemia, blood transfusion level, blood transfusion, it is one of the criteria for treatment of the arsenic poisoning. Okay, Torsades D point may be treated with Torsade D points, these are the Torsade D points which can be treated by the magnesium sulfate or with the pacing or isoprenaline. If bradycardia dependent, treat seizure, diazepam, lorazepam and phenytoins can be used. So this is all about the arsenic poisoning. Thank you so much.